Hi everyone. We are coming to a special Shabbos. It's Parsha Vayishlach. And as we know, Parsha Vayishlach always comes before and it's connected to the great liberation of the Alter Rebbe, the day of Yutes Kislev. And there's always a connection between the Parsha and Yutes Kislev. And as we're going to call it, a long weekend. Because Yutes Kislev will be this year on a Monday and on a Tuesday. So it's going to be a beautiful continuation of this Shabbos. So let's share something very small, very short, and maybe connect it to the Parsha and to the Alter Rebbe, that his liberation is this Yutes Kislev coming up this week. So as we know, the Parsha is a very sentimental moment of the two brothers, Yaakov the Great, the patriarch, with his brother Esav, as we call him, Esav Arasha. And let's not get into all the details. We all know it. Yaakov feared his brother, and he pleaded to God and asked for God to save him from his brother. And he tried many ways, by sending him messages, emissaries, by sending him presents, as we learn in this sixth parsha. The end result of this whole story we learn in this sixth parsha, we're learning a very special moment. And what was the moment? We learned that when Esav saw his brother Yaakov, it says he ran over to him, he hugged him, he kissed him, they both cried. There's many different explanations. Rashi himself brings different explanations to what really happened. But a simple idea that was there is when he finally saw Yaakov Avinu, when he saw the great tzaddik, when he saw his face, when he saw the kedusha, for the moment at least, he melted. He broke. And he suddenly became his friend. He suddenly connected to him with crying, weeping, kissing, and so on and so forth. There's a lot to talk about it. But just one point I want to bring out from this. There is a certain idea of a person can be whoever he is. It can be Esav Arasha, and could try whatever you want with him. But just the idea that he saw Yaakov, as we learned in this parsha, he saw his face, he saw the greatness of it, he saw the kedusha of Yaakov. He melted, and he, as the rest of the story, he like, what can I do for you? And that's the idea. It says Yaakov Avinu, how he empowered Esav, how he took him over that moment, was with the inspiration of the greatness of Yaakov, the great glory, the great aura that Yaakov had. And with that inspiration, he made a change. Not a complete change, but at the moment he made a change in Esav. And from there we're learning a beautiful idea that this is the power of a tzaddik. But this power we can all have, the power of Kedusha. And when this power of Kedusha comes out of your face, you can inspire everyone. And that's what Yaakov did. I just remember the story. It's a long story, but just one point of that story. But Rabbi Naftali, when he was in Germany once, and everybody made fun of him because he looked like this Polish rabbi. In Germany, nobody dressed like that. And one day, as the kids are all making fun of him in the synagogue, he made a circle with him. He asked them, let's make a game in a circle. And they enjoyed playing a game with this hoodlum rabbi. And the game was, he was standing in the middle, all the kids were around, and he said, I'll stare at you, you stare at me. And the story is, he went around, and he stared at every kid. And then he said, the game is over, you can all go home. The end of the story was, again, it's a long story, I don't want to get into the details right now, maybe another time. Every kid that came home, they didn't want to eat at home because it wasn't kosher. They wanted to become God-fearing kids, and became the whole city turned around. And how did he affect him? Just by looking at him. It's a beautiful story, but without details. The power power. If you're a pure person, if you're a tzaddik, just by seeing the people, it have an impact on them. I remember the good olden days, Rabbi Naftali would be in Israel, and he would go Friday to put on film with people. So the famous joke is, he didn't speak anything, he didn't know how to say anything. And he asked people to put on film like this, he went put on film. But just by them seeing his face, you couldn't refuse him. Can't refuse him. A great person. Looks beautiful, the spiritual level. Maybe also the physical, but for sure the spiritual level. How could you refuse? That's the power of us that we have. We have the power, we can influence the person. We can change the person if we really are great, if we're really going to be special, if the Kedusha shows in our face, and that's the power of the tzaddikim and great Hasidim too. Just wanted to conclude. We see by the Alter Rebbe a very interesting idea too. When he was in jail, so we know the story when he came in front of the judges. When he walked in, the judges were trembling. Maybe we spoke about it once. And when he told the story to his son said, "Why were they trembling?" He says, because I was wearing tefillin. So he said, "We're all wearing tefillin. Nobody trembles from me, from us." So he said that tefillin in the head, not on the head, in the head. What he meant to say, I have my tefillin in my head. In other words, what the Alter Rebbe was explaining to his son, because the Kedusha that was on his head with the tefillin, so the Kedusha of his Kedusha, when he came in front of the judges, they were trembling. And that's the power of our tzaddikim. And that's the power, the influence, and the positive too that our tzaddikim have. And we all have to learn from this, that we can influence people to become better through the Kedusha that we have. But we have to have this Kedusha. And we have to become better people. So if we are not able yet to influence someone else, the problem is in me. I have to become special. I have to become Kedusha. So that's what we have to work on ourselves. And this is what we learn from Yaakov Avinu, back to the story of this week's parsha. So every Saval, a good Shabbos. I don't know if we're there yet. I'm for sure not there. I don't know who else is there or not there. But the point is, we got to work on it. We have to be the emet, sincere, the beauty of Kedusha. This is how we can influence our Kedusha and other people too. Have a good Shabbos, a beautiful bringers for Yitas Kislev. As it says, Yitas Kislev is Rosh Hashanah for Chassidus. Have a beautiful Yom Tov and a beautiful Shabbos.